Welcome to another episode of Make Mental Health Matter. If you happen to be joining for the first time, welcome. My name is Kelly Melissa Reinhart. I am the host of the show. And if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, make sure you click down that subscribe button so that you don't miss another episode. If you're watching it on any of the streaming platforms, make sure you add it into your watch list, your wish list, whatever it happened to be called, so that you don't miss another episode. Every single week, I bring on guests, especially on Wednesdays, who are Warrior Wednesdays, warriors to share on Wednesdays. They share their warrior story, whatever they have gone through in life, any experiences. And if you've watched the show in the past, you have heard lots of stories about people. We've talked to Aaron, who almost became a school shooter. I've had Victor, who lost his son at a very young age to suicide. I had William, who has who lives with Tourette's and bipolar. I have had Alex, who is in recovery. So many people have shared their journey through cancer, through trauma, through suicidal thoughts, through mental health challenges, through substance use challenges, so many things. And the whole point of Wednesday is to give you information, have my guests share their stories so that maybe there's a little piece that you identify with and you know that there's hope. Hope is right around the corner. So I want to today, I don't have a guest, so you're going to get me, and I wore my Baby Yoda shirt. There is a purpose to my shirt that I have on every single episode that I do. If you've watched this for a while, you've noticed that I try to wear shirts that are, whether they're inspirational, they happen to be BCC Evolution shirts, or maybe it goes with what I'm about to talk about. So, and I had a moment before I started going live, and I was like, I'm wearing a Baby Yoda shirt. Do I really want to wear that? I think I do, because what I'm talking about has to do with my shirt in a way. So I want to share with you again that September is National Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. This week happens to be National Suicide Prevention Week. So, September as a whole is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Then you have World Suicide Prevention Day, which is always September 10th. You may have watched the special that we did on Sunday. I had 5 speakers that were absolutely incredible, and it came together so well. I had only heard one of them speak up until that. It all came together. We talked about empathy. There was talk about oh man, my brain was like, what did we talk? There was so much goodness that I can't, it's like not rolling off my tongue, but I know that I even took notes on that. Oh, radical curiosity. That's what I was trying to think of. Radical curiosity. That was one of those phrases that I loved also. And then talking about self-love and so much goodness. Anyways, so if you didn't get a chance, go back and watch. I know I already said that on Monday too, but I'm going to reiterate because it lives and breathes on E360 TV, on the Facebook page, the Make Mental Health Matter Show Facebook page. So if you didn't get a chance to watch, go back and watch that, because I promise you it is so good and all of the speakers were amazing. And I am not here to talk about that special, but what I am here to talk about is that kicked off the National Suicide Prevention Week. So we are currently in the week of National Suicide Prevention Week, and I want to get the exact days for you. It is from September 10th until September 16th. So it really runs through Saturday, the 16th. And the whole point of doing all these things within September is to really start to have the conversations that nobody wants to have. And I'm going to tell you exactly. So it's National Suicide Prevention Week. It runs from September 10th. It always kicks off on World Suicide Prevention Day and runs till the 16th. The theme this year is creating hope through action. So that's what I really want to instill in you is how do we create hope through action. And I'm going to give you specific actions today as I'm going to be talking about 6 strategies to mental wellness and how it can benefit you no matter what you're going through. And you don't necessarily, I guess, have to be going through anything. But what I want to give you is some tools, some information. And I know I normally do this on Mondays, but I thought it would be a really good space here on Wednesday, on Warrior Wednesday, to give you some tools to be a warrior yourself. So, if you don't know yet, I am an author in a book. This was the second book that I wrote for. It is a collaboration book, so there are some really, if I can get it to not be blurry. It's a little blurry. So there are 21 authors, including myself, that are in the book. Again, this show is not about perfection. It's about getting the information out, and I trip over my words all the time. I laugh at myself, and hey, I'm just here to have a good time. So hopefully you are too, and to hear some really amazing people speak. So there are 21 authors in this book. So I was lucky enough to be a part of this incredible collaboration book that really helps. All the stories in here are really based off of health and wellness. That's where it came from, was from a health and wellness space. And one of the funny parts of this book, specifically the first editions that came out, is in between when I first wrote for the book. I was not married yet. And so last name Hansen, I wrote as Kelli Melissa Hansen, and then it didn't get published until last year. So in the meantime, I got married last year and I changed my name, and I was like, hey, I need to change my chapter, my last name, so that everything's consistent. Not that it matters. You're going to be able to find me under Kelli Hansen, Kelli Melissa Hansen, Kelli Melissa Reinhardt, Kelli Melissa. I don't know. You'll probably I have a whole bunch of aliases, I feel like. But when I was writing for this book, it was under Hansen, and then it didn't publish when I thought it was going to. It was about 2 years late in the process, which fine, I get it. It takes a while to publish books. But on the back, you have, where am I? Right here. It says Kelli Hansen. But on the inside, when you come to my chapter, and there is my biography, it says Kelli Reinhardt. So that's one of the fun little things that you get to know. It's a secret. Shh, don't tell anybody. But if you happen to buy a book from me or from the BCC Evolution website, the books that will come to you have that anomaly. We'll go with that word. I like that word. Ooh, anomaly within them. Anyways, so Why am I sharing this all with you? Because my chapter is 6 strategies to mental wellness. And that's what I want to share with you today. I'm not going to go word for word in the book by any means. You can grab your own copy and you can read it yourself. But I do talk a lot about my story with my sister, how I got to what I do today. And I really talk about those strategies and go a little bit more into detail as far as all of that information. But I want to talk today about my actual strategies because I have been told that they have been really helpful and useful for people that have decided to utilize them and or get the book and read it and really embody the strategies that I use, because there's something that I personally use. They are good reminders, although most of the time when I am in a place that I am close or on the verge of a mental breakdown myself, I have to have tools to be able to help myself. And I forget. I really like, I live in this space as the founder of BCC Evolution on a daily basis. I'm constantly talking to people, I'm networking, we're having conversations about mental health, about suicide prevention. I have friends that reach out to me that they're either struggling or somebody they know is struggling and they're needing information right away. So that's what I do on a daily basis is I'm networking, I'm having these conversations, I'm helping people, getting them to the resources that they need. I'm giving them education as far as like, what do I say? Where do I go? How do I help somebody? And I think that these strategies have been really useful because being in this space, it can be really, really heavy. Like, I don't want anybody to die. I don't want somebody to feel like they're alone. But I also know about myself, which is really important, is that I have created boundaries. I know that I'm not your 2 a.m. person. I'm not. I put my phone on do not disturb every single night at 10 p.m. and it doesn't wake up until 6:30, I think 6:37 a.m. And the reason I do that is because I need my rest. I need my brain to have that space to relax and to not have to think about work, because I work constantly and I would literally be checking my phone if I was like hearing it. I'd be like, oh my God, somebody needs me. That may be a trauma response that I have from my sister. And I know she didn't try to call me before she completed suicide, but in the back of my head, I have those thoughts of like, well, what if somebody's trying to reach out to me? What if somebody's in an accident? What if something happens and I don't have my phone? Well, I have come to create these boundaries for myself that it's okay to put it on do not disturb. It's okay to create boundaries because I live in this space. What I do is I will give you tools, information, and resources. And that's what the BCC Evolution website is for. There's lots and lots of resources. There are the numbers to all of the crisis lines. So 988, if you can't remember, you probably won't remember BCC Evolution instead of 988, but 988 is the National Suicide Hotline, National Suicide Hotline. Within the United States, 988, you dial it, text it, chat it, go to 988 Lifeline. You'll probably remember that before you remember BCC Evolution, but we still have those resources on our website. And the crisis line, so the crisis text line, that is also on the BCC Evolution website. You text home to 741-741. And I actually have a call, which I'm very excited to have a conversation with them this week, how BCC Evolution can partner up with the National Crisis Text Line. So who knows, there may be a way that you can text BCC to 741 and get access to, or some sort of, it might have to be four numbers, but anyways, not what I'm here to talk about. But I think all these things are really important to be talking about in the actual week of Suicide Prevention Week. So now on to the tools that we are going to talk about, because having these tools have been life altering for me, to remind myself that I need to take care of myself and remind myself of those things that I have, those resources, that information, that knowledge that I have within myself, so that I'm not searching for outside sources to provide this for me. But there are some of these include outside resources. And we'll talk about that as I talk about Baby Yoda. So I want to go into the actual strategies themselves. And yes, I even have to go into my book and I'm going to read them for you, because over time they have adapted, they've changed, I've moved things around a little bit, and I think I actually added a seventh, which I will add in here too. So let me give you the very, very first. I like to combine the first and second. So really there's only 6 strategies, but I'm going to give you a bonus one on here, which will be your 7th. So your first, the number 1, is find something that lights you up. So this is where Baby Yoda comes into play for me. I am addicted to Baby Yoda. He is like my soul creature. Like, what do you call him? I'm not sure. But I have so many Baby Yodas all over my house. This is the Boppet, and I really, really wanted him so bad. Christmas, was it last year, 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. But he's a Boppet, and I feel like a little giddy kid. As you can see, like, this is what I'm talking about. Find something that lights you up. I can at any moment grab my Baby Yoda Boppet and I can start playing with my Baby Yoda Boppet, and it makes me giggle. Like, literally makes me laugh. And I was going to see, I don't have the other one over here, but I have a let's see. I don't know where it is. I have a not Pez dispenser, but a sucker that he giggles. So there's also, which I'm not going to turn my camera, but up above this bookshelf, I have an entire row of toys. Should I turn it around? I'll turn it around just for you. Let's see if I can do this without messing up. Okay. So you get sneak peek. You get so there I have a whole shelf of toys. There is Gizmo. He's actually right here where my finger is. Forky. I have Care Bears. I have Baby Yodas. All the Baby Yodas are over here. More Care Bears. I've got a Minion. Like, there's all kinds of things up there on my shelf. And that is like my little happy spot that I can just look up to. Adjust this back again. That I can look up to and find all my toys, right? It's been a thing for me ever since I was even at a corporate job. I was the supervisor that my team would literally go to McDonald's or wherever. And if you got like Happy Meals or something that I had a toy, my team would bring me back toys. So it became this thing that I started collecting toys. And it was kind of ridiculous because I had so many across. But I think the thing that I learned is that those things, having them close to you, can help light you up at any point in time. And so that's pretty cool. So find something that lights you up. It could be a person, it could be toys, it could be a place, it could be maybe it's a good book, maybe it is being alone, maybe it is being out with friends. Like whatever that looks like for you, find something that lights you up. And I just talked about that one way too long. So we are going to go to a quick sponsored break and then we'll be right back after this. I'll give you all the rest, I promise, right after this.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kimberly L. Wilson, also known as Dr. Burnout. You can catch me on Leadership Beyond Burnout on E360 TV on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Vitality Network, where we focus on emerging women leaders and women leaders.
Welcome back. So if you happen to be just joining me, thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to this Make Mental Health Matter show so that you don't miss another episode. I am talking today about my 6 strategies for mental wellness, how that can help you within this week, which is National Suicide Prevention Week, and also just throughout life, things that have helped me through any mental challenges that I'm going through, and or really a good reminder to take care of myself versus everybody else around me. And that is often my kryptonite, I guess you could say, is that I tend to take care of everybody else except for myself. And then it gets to a point that I shut down and I don't want to talk to anybody, but that doesn't work in my world anymore. I have to be able to communicate. So these are things that help me. I just talked about Baby Yoda, my favorite person, my favorite creature in the world. And so my number 2 is find something that helps release your brain's, I call them happy juices. So this could be as simple as volunteering. It can be even more simple with simply a smile. This is the number 1 fastest way for your brain to release your happy juices, which are your serotonin, your dopamine, your endorphins, and all those good happy juices. Smiling, even if it's a fake smile, the fake it till you make it. I'm going to smile and it's not real, but Kelly told me to freaking smile. So I'm going to do it anyways. That is the way that your brain automatically releases all those happy juices and sends them across your body. So it can be that simple. It doesn't necessarily have to be those big things like I just mentioned, like volunteering. Another one that I love to do is random acts of kindness. I learned this one from one of my mentors back in the day. And I think it was Wednesdays. We would do random acts of kindness in a monetary fashion, which ultimately helped open up the financial aspects in your brain, even if you don't have much to give. So it can be as simple as maybe $1. I took $1, which a couple other people in the group had done this, but you go into Target, Walmart, whatever store you shop at, and you put it in a diaper box, like a box of diapers. So like there's the little handle openings and you can shove the dollar in. The people that get that, they open it up and they're like, there's $1 in here. That's a random act of kindness. They don't know who you are, but it's a monetary way. I know some people, they talked about there's grocery stores that you have to pay, which blows my mind, but you have to pay to get a cart. It's like 25 cents. But who carries around change anymore? So they were going and putting like 25 cents in all of the carts. Random act of kindness. They don't know who you are. So you do it for a stranger. It's not somebody that you know. And the other one that has happened to me before, and it was before I even heard about this, somebody paid for my coffee in the Starbucks line. They do that a lot, or I've heard it done a lot at Starbucks. I did it. I love Dutch Brothers, and they take your order. And you can't pay for the person behind you because they don't have their order already. Like, because normally at Starbucks, you drive up and you're like, hey, can I pay for the person behind me? They already have their order, so you can pay for it. Dutch Brothers, the way that I found is like I bought a whole bunch of $5 gift cards and I wrote on them and I said, like, surprise, random act of kindness. Here's $5 for your coffee. And I'd hand it to the person that was taking orders and say, hey, can you give this to one of the cars that are behind me? That's how I did it. I haven't done them in a long time. So as I'm saying this, I'm like, man, I need to get back to that because it was so filling. It filled my heart. It filled my soul, and it helped those happy juices. Like, thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that was so cool. Like, I love doing that. And you don't have to have a whole lot of money. Do what you can. If you do have a lot of money, do more. So that's another way. Find a way to release those happy juices. So the number 3 thing is practice gratitude. And the one that I love specifically for this. So this one is talked about a lot more often than probably any of these. But practicing gratitude, and it can be really, really simple. So it could be the roof over your head, the clothes that you're wearing, it could be the house. Maybe it's the sleeping bag that you have. Maybe it's a toothbrush that you brush your teeth with. Maybe it is gratitude for still being alive. Maybe it's gratitude for waking up and getting out of bed. Maybe it's having a TV. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it is having your kids at school. Maybe it's that alone time. Maybe it's the walks, whatever it is. Think about these things on a daily basis and practice gratitude for them. What are you really, really grateful for in this moment? And it can be really super simple. It doesn't have to be extravagant. I know that sounds really hard, especially somebody who may be struggling. If you are really struggling right now, I know it sounds really hard to be grateful for anything that's happening. I get that. But I challenge you to find something, anything that you can be grateful for, and simply say it. I am grateful for this couch that I'm laying on. I'm grateful for this bed that I'm laying on. I am grateful for this toothbrush that I'm brushing my teeth. Whatever that thing or things, try to pick 3. Pick 1 to start, go to 2, go to 3, and then as many as you can. Just practice gratitude. Another one that I really love in this space is Tony Robbins has his gratitude. I'm wondering if I had put it in here. I don't think I did. He has a 15-minute gratitude. YouTube thing that he does. Yeah, totally blank that one. But that's a really good one to just start that gratitude of like, grab and put it into your heart and grab it and put into your heart and then like send it all out to the world, like give everybody else the energy. So that's a really good one. I can't remember the name, brain at night not working. But I love these. So number 4 is to write out a safety and self-care plan for yourself. This comes in the form of something that BCC Evolution has on our website. We have a free download that gives you access to our safety and self-care plan. It is built in the structure of a triangle, and I don't think I have one. See, I should have planned this out better, that I had everything just laid out, but that would have been easy, right? Oh, I do have, okay. See? I knew I had them somewhere. It's a little wrinkled, but that's okay. It's well loved. This is, let's see if I can make this a little bit darker so you can actually see. All right, you can kind of see it. Ooh, that's so really bright. I have some really bright screens around this screen. So let me see. Oh, that's a little better. Okay. So this is the personal safety and self-care plan that you can download, actually, that gives you a copy of my 7 strategies for mental wellness in addition to the safety and self-care plan. It is built, as you can see in the middle, it is built with a triangle in mind because triangles are the strongest structure in the world. They have 3 equal parts, and that's what makes them the strongest. So how I built this is you have 3 things that you're grateful for. We just talked about gratitude. 3 people that have your back no matter what. What I say on this one is that make sure whomever you put on this, that you have a conversation with them first and say, hey, you're my person. If you are somebody who experiences suicidal ideation or suicidal thoughts often, make sure they're not a person like me that's not a 2 a.m. person. Make sure they are that person for you. I, of course, say if I need to be your person, let's have that conversation. What does it look like? Do we have a secret word that I know this is the moment that you need my support, that you need me to listen? That's the type of conversations that I have before I put somebody on my safety and self-care plan, because what I would hate for you to do is put somebody on here and then you try to get a hold of them and they don't ever respond. Like that can feel very defeating. But that's why you have 3 people, because share the wealth, right? The more people you have on there, and you can do more. I just my basis went off of the 3s just because that way it's a strong structure. You have 3 people that you can rely on. 3 people, place, objects that make you happy. 3 things that you know when you're triggered, and then 3 things that you know you're safe when you're here. You're safe when, or if you're at a place. And then it gives you at the bottom a place to write other resources. So we already put the text crisis line on the bottom, but you can add like 988. You can add, maybe you have a psychologist, a counselor, a therapist, somebody that you know you can trust. You can put them on here. The other thing, and the reason is really, like, we have 3 brains. So we have our head, heart, and gut, and all of these have different functions. Our head is that logic, our heart is the feeling, and our safety comes from our gut. So that's why there is a point why it's built the way that it's built. And it is something that I created with BCC Evolution and several other people that input the viability of an actual safety and self-care plan. So again, go to BCC Evolution and download your free copy of that. So number 5 is, and this is the one I don't know why, but I always forget this one. And every time I'm like rambling these off, because I also can come into your organization, your work, whatever it is, and go even more elaborate and detailed into these and do this like as a full workshop. But this one is the one that always trips me up. And I think it's because I forget this the most. And that's why I have this list. So, number 5 is practice what you preach. I, again, can tell you till I'm blue in the face what helpful for you. I can give you resources. I can give you information. I can educate you on all the things. But if I'm not doing those things, I'm not serving myself. So I need to remind myself to practice what I preach. These are tools that I created because I needed them. And I just admitted to all of you that I forgot about them. So it's good that I actually decided to do it here tonight, because now I'm reminding myself that I have tools, I have information, I have resources, I have a book that sits behind me all the time that I can go into and get what I practice, right? So practice what you preach. Number 6 is words matter. The words that we say to ourselves, the words that we say to other, it really truly matters. This is one of my favorites. And how I talk about this is it's like the Eeyore syndrome. And it's like, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I'm gonna go eat worms. Well, if you're going around like Eeyore and you're saying, nobody likes me, I have no friends, nobody cares about me, I, what are some of the other ones? I'm an addict, I am OCD, I am bipolar, you're labeling yourself, right? So, first and foremost, you're taking that on as an identity. And if you choose to identify that way, wonderful. I actually have a woman who is part of the TEDx Cherry Creek Women. So I am a speaker for TEDx Cherry Creek Women this year in November. And one of the acts that we have, she's a blind woman and she's a singer. And it is amazing. She identifies as blind. And I love when she says that, because it is part of her identity. That's how she identifies. I have also had many people tell me that they're bipolar. That's how they identify, and they want to be that way, right? So how we identify is up to us. But is it a label that is causing you grief? Is it a label that is bringing you down versus lifting you up? Those are the things that you have to consider. Is me, by saying like I am bipolar, is that something that is dragging me down, or is it something that's my superpower? And that's for you to decide, not for me to. But we can shift our language, like I'm depressed. Now I just took that on as an identity, like it becomes part of me. Or I am cancer. That's another great example. You are not cancer. You may have cancer, but you're not cancer. You may have or experience or live with depression, but you are not depression. And so that's what I like to talk about, it is how do we shift those words? How do we not take on those identities? How do we say, I experience depression, I live with OCD, I experience and or live with bipolar disorder? It's not my label. It's not who I am. It's something that may be a part of me, and I've learned how to manage it, but it doesn't have to be my identity. Again, that is for you to decide, not for me to decide for you. But how can we shift that language to be more inclusive, be more, I don't know what the word is that I'm trying to come up with right now, but how can we shift it so that it doesn't affect us in a negative way? And also, if we're running around saying all these, like, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have luck at all. That may be the case because now you're kind of pulling in that energy of all the bad things. If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have luck at all. And our brains are very smart. It's like our yes man or woman. And when you say, I'm depressed, it says, okay, I am bipolar. Okay. I have anxiety. Okay. Or I live with depression. I live with anxiety. It doesn't, again, it's not my identity, but you can shift it and your brain will be like, okay, it basically is just, it thinks in black and white. It doesn't think in the negative. So when you're saying I don't want to be depressed, it's not going to hear the don't. It's going to hear the I depressed, right? So that's what it's very interesting, the brain. But ultimately we have to be cautious and aware of the words that we're saying, how we're saying them, what we're saying. And if we are talking to ourselves, if we have negative self-talk and we say things like I'm stupid, I'm a nerd, I'm whatever that might be, right? Then why would you say those things to yourself when you wouldn't want anybody else to say them to you? So again, let's change that narrative. What energy are we bringing in? Are we constantly thinking about the negatives or are we constantly thinking about the positives? How can we reframe the situation to be more positive versus negative? Because if that's what we want, we've got to shift our energy, and that can start with words. The words that we say to ourselves and the words that we say to others really truly matters. So that is number 6, is words matter. And then the last one that I like to always add in, which is my bonus, it's not in this book because again, I wrote this before all of my strategies were fully created. But one of the things that I found, and it's your secret little bonus, is that the 7th one, yep, that's 7. The 7th one is find a coach or mentor. If you really truly are somebody who struggles with a mental health or substance use challenge, or maybe suicidal ideation, you do not have to go at this alone. There are many, many people out there, including myself, including everybody on my board, including all those people that are around me, the people that are on the BCC Evolution Trusted Resource Hub. They want to help you. We want to be in that space with you to support you through whatever you're going through. And so find a coach or mentor. They have been significant in my life. Had I not found some of my mentors, I don't know where I would be today. I know that I was stuck in this place after my sister died, that I was just going, 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 going. I wasn't talking to anybody. I wasn't allowing anybody into my space because I thought I needed to take care of it myself. It wasn't until I found my mentor. One of my original mentors was George Carroll, and he helped lift me up. He helped show me a different way of thinking. And ever since, like, I did Transformation Academy, which I ended up walking on fire. I walked on glass. I went skydiving. I mean, there were so many things that broke me out of my comfort zone that I would have never done without him as my mentor. I have had many mentors ever since, and currently I have some really amazing mentors like Jen Gottlieb and Chris Winfield and all the people at the TEDx community. They are all mentors for me. Really, truly honest people that want to help others. And being able to build this trusted resource hub with other organizations, with other coaches and therapists and counselors and people in the non-crisis space and people in the crisis space, and the collaborations that we have been able to make have been absolutely incredible. And I would have never had that had I not taken a gamble on myself and stepped out of my comfort zone to join the Transformation Academy and search out a mentor. That mentor doesn't have to be somebody that you're paying. It also doesn't have to be like this big person that I don't know, like the whole thing about it is that when you have a coach or a mentor, they really they most likely have lived experience, and they're going to put you into, if they're a good coach or mentor, they're going to put you into situations that lift you up, not drag you down. And for so many years, the company that I kept was really negative. It was in that negative space. They dragged me down versus lifted me up. And that was when I was really in those spaces that were, I definitely use the terms of, if I didn't have good luck, I wouldn't have luck at all. And everything bad happens to me. Like, I can't catch a break. Those were words that I used so often in my past. And now I have had them pop into my brain and I'm like, no, that's a lie. That's a lie that you're telling me. My brain's telling me a lie. I have all these amazing people around me. I just don't utilize them like I should. I can ask for help. I can go to them at any point in time and ask for whatever I need, right? Like I can do that. I need to use my voice. And I've found people that I know can give me community. I know they will lift me up. They won't drag me down. They'll be ultra supportive. And that's what I try to do for every single person that comes to me also. I know a lot of people say that you should never ask somebody if you can pick their brain because there are a lot of people out there that have a lot of knowledge and you oftentimes have to pay for their information. But I would say that a true person, a true mentor, although you may have to initially to get into the community, pay something, they probably will give you the information that you need if you reach out to them. I know I am forthcoming with information and I do it all the time on these shows. So I hope that this was helpful for you. So I will just reiterate really quickly my 7 strategies, which again, you can actually go download all of them off of bccevolution.org. If you click on the main page at the very bottom, there is our free download. So if you go download it, they're just written out. So you'll have to either come back to this to like figure out what I'm talking about, and or there is also a masterclass that teaches you how to use them too. So number 1 is find something that lights you up. Baby Yoda for me. Oh yes. Number 2 is find a way to release your brain's happy juice. Again, smile. It is the fastest way to release the happy juices. And even if it is a fake smile, fake it till you make it. Release those endorphins, release the serotonin, release the dopamine. If you're in a bad mood, smile. Find something to smile about. And if you don't have anything to smile about, just smile. Number 3 is practice gratitude. Be grateful for the things that you have around you. It can be small things, it can be big things, but just find something to be grateful for. Start with 1, go to 2, go to 3, whatever that looks like for you. Again, it could be your toothbrush, it could be the bed, it could be watching the show. Be grateful. Number 4 is write out your own safety and self-care plan. Again, that goes with our download on bccevolution.org. The one that I showed you, this one, That is what you'll get a copy of. So you can actually download it, fill it out. Let me know if it's helpful. Let me know if it's not helpful. How can we make it better? Number 5 is the one that I always forget. Practice what you preach. Whatever you're telling others, it really truly matters. So make sure you're practicing that yourself. Make sure you're practicing these strategies. I remind myself. Number 6 is words matter. The words that we say to ourselves, the words that we say to others, it really truly matters. And number 7 is find a coach or mentor. You do not have to go at this alone. There are plenty of us in this world that really truly want to help you. And there are a lot of us that don't have waiting lists, myself included in my coaching business. I don't have a wait list yet. I specialize in depression, trauma, anxiety, or any other mental health challenge. So come to me. If I'm not the right fit for you, I will give you the connection into somebody that may be the right fit. And if they're not the right fit, we'll find another right fit, right? So I may not be your cup of tea, and that is okay. But I do have so many other people inside this network that really truly want to help you. And if we can provide that to you, we can get you in with a coach or mentor that will benefit you. Because again, you don't have to go at this alone, and you shouldn't. So, hopefully, all of those strategies were useful for you, and you take the chance to go download that information. The last thing that I want to share before we end tonight is that, like I said, September is National Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. September 10th is World Suicide Prevention Day. That kicks off the week of National Suicide Prevention Week. It goes until the 16th. BCC Evolution is and needs your help. We need you to become a warrior for mental health. That goes towards all 3 of our programs, which are awareness, conversation, and education. And you can become a monthly donor as an individual here with only $19 or more per month. Or if you're a business, association, an organization, there is an option for the business level, which starts at $99 per quarter. I know that the business world really is in quarters. So that's why we set it up that way. So go today and sign up to be a warrior for mental health. You will support this show. You will support all of our programs. And it is a way for us to have funding to be able to actually share all this information and our classes, like share our classes, which include mental health first aid, our breaking the cycle of trauma, and then NLP or neuro linguistic programming practitioner training. So also check out all of our events that we have coming up. If you happen to be in Colorado, we would love to meet you and include you in our community. That's really one of our big pushes this year is we're building community. We're building this trusted resource hub. We are building new community events that we start this month. It's going to be focused on recovery this month because September actually also happens to be month of recovery. And so we are collaborating with the Mobilize Recovery Day of Service, and we're going to have a community event on the 26th. So if you happen to be in Colorado, go check out the BCC Evolution website and join us at our community event. We are partnering with Free Spiritual Community, which is a place and a resource for those in recovery. So thank you so much for watching. And next week, I do have guests all on Monday and Wednesday. This may be the last Wednesday that you get me by myself, at least for September, and that's okay. But I hope this was helpful. Drop me a comment if you have any questions. If you want to reach out, just reach out via the BCC Evolution website. And whatever you do, make sure you come back and watch next Monday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Bye.